Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone or anytime you are coming across this platform, Nnamdi's TV show. If it is your first time and you like what we are doing here, after watching this video, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notifications. In that way, you will be able to know when we upload a new video. I want to appreciate YouTube for creating this wonderful platform which we are using to disseminate information to the members of the public. At the same time, I want to put a disclaimer that here in Nnamdi's TV show, I do not promote violence, I do not promote hate speech, I do not promote misleading information. Myself, I don't like it. We react to all forms of videos. So, I also want to remind YouTube that a call for self-determination is never a call for
Washington, who told me this is no joke. This is a major emergency. Africa, countries rising up saying, get the heck out of our countries. Stop stealing our minerals. If you're an investor, this could be an amazing moment. I'll show you more about that in just a moment. But first, many of our Western leaders are freaking out because stuff is about to hit the fan. The dominoes are starting to fall. This weekend, we saw dramatic developments all across Africa. Russian flags being raised in the air throughout the continent. First to Niger, the country that started it all. Russian flags everywhere. And according to France 24 news service, the government of Niger has now signed a contract with the Russian Wagner Group for security. Yes, Wagner forces in Africa going to protect Niger. And they need it because the coup in Niger has entered the point of no return. The people rising up against French and United States influence. The Western powers that have controlled Niger for decades are being pushed out. And this weekend, the military leaders now say that Niger will no longer be a European colony. We're done with that. And they've demanded that all French soldiers and any United States influence get out now or face the consequences. Tens of thousands of people marched in Niger this weekend celebrating their independence and shouting no to foreign military bases, no to poverty, no to the West stealing their uranium, their phosphate, their gold, and other minerals. Get out now. Other African nations now showing their support for Niger and starting to say the very same thing. Get out of our country. This weekend, the people in Senegal rising up against Western colonial governments controlling their country. Yes, the CIA, MI6, other Western intelligence services are doing whatever they can right now to hold on to power in these countries with their puppet governments. That's why you saw crazy Victoria Nuland, who of course helped create the coup and the overthrow of the Ukrainian government, is now running into crazy mode trying to see what she can do in Africa. Colonel Douglas McGregor says the people who've had their minerals stolen for years in that country are saying, enough is enough. Get out of my country.
The Africans are fed up with it. And so this is an example in Niger where a supposedly U.S.-backed government with a U.S.-trained military suddenly turned around and said, I think all of you white people need to get out of here. We've had it with you. Go away. Go, Europeans, leave.
Again, we'll get to the uranium and the gold part of this story in a minute, which is arguably the most important part of this story, especially if you're an investor. But first, the story that no one's talking about is the massive natural gas pipeline that is nearly set to go online. Now, it starts in Nigeria, and it flows up through Niger on its way into Europe. Chevron and the United States have already invested $13 billion into this. And after the Nord Stream pipeline destruction, Chevron stepped up production to get this pipeline up and running. And now the people of Niger are saying, wait a second, why are we going to allow a pipeline to flow right through our own country into Europe? You are doing nothing for us, and yet you continue to steal from us. So sorry, no more pipeline. This is why Europe is terrified this morning. And it was always going to be a very cold and dreary winter because of the natural gas destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline. This winter could be even worse now if this pipeline is not allowed to go into action in Africa. Niger is saying, sorry, you're not going to use our country to transport your natural gas into Europe. Get out of here. Get out now. Europe is facing catastrophe with no Nord Stream pipeline coming from Russia. The African pipeline was their salvation. And then add into it uranium and Europe's nuclear power. The United States gets over 50% of its uranium from Russia. Despite all the sanctions of the United States has placed on Russia, they left uranium off the list. Why? Because the United States is so heavily dependent on Russia for uranium that Putin could literally flip the switch and literally destroy the American economy by turning off the lights. Think about that for a minute. They sanctioned the hell out of Russia, for everything else. But, oh, we need your uranium, so we won't sanction that. Just keep sending it to us. They could turn off the lights with a flip of a switch. And now Niger, the French, the United States have essentially been stealing uranium from these African countries for decades. And again, these countries are saying enough is enough. We are sovereign countries here in Niger, in Senegal, and in Guinea, and we are going to keep our own minerals, make our own decisions. And Russia is giving them that option. They had the big African summit in St. Petersburg last week. And Vladimir Putin in Russia said, we want you to keep your own sovereignty. Oh, and by the way, we are also going to wipe away all of the debt that you owe us. Billions of dollars wiped away. Think about that for a second. We're not going to steal from you. You can have your sovereignty, and we're going to wipe away your debt. Sounds like an attractive proposition for some of these countries, right? Not a slave to the West any longer. Listen to RT's Africa Bureau Chief Musa Ibrahim explain how the people of Africa want to gain back their wealth, their minerals, stop giving it away to America and Europe.
What people want is to gain back their wealth, back their uranium, their gold, their iron, their phosphate, their oil, their gas. And this scares the West because this means the true democracy will take place in Africa when people actually own their own land and the wealth of Africa does not go untaxed, unsupervised from the mines in Niger to the banks of Paris and the financial sector in Britain.
He's right. Niger's coup isn't a singular event, but it's actually a larger narrative right now and a pushback against Western neocolonialism. Africans seeking to regain their national sovereignty. Yes, they might be independent, but with a U.S. military base and French military bases here stealing all of our minerals, how exactly are we sovereign? Imagine if China did that to the United States. Oh yeah, we're America, we're a sovereign nation. But here's Russia and China literally building military bases in our own country. Would we stand for it? No. Africa saying, hey, we are rich in uranium, but we don't get to benefit from the wealth of this mineral because you steal it from us. So guess what? We are going to enrich our own uranium, and then we'll sell it to you, and you'll pay us a fair market price for it. No more theft. Africa is in the middle of a revolution. That's the news update part of today's video.
What people should expect and what people will see at the coming out of Nnamdi Kanu is that there's going to also be what's called another travel. There's going to be another travel. I am seeing it coming out and I'm seeing another travel. But this travel may not be the way you think. It may be a hidden travel. But this is another travel, and I'm seeing this travel also bringing what's called another step and another level, another dimension. You know, like every time when you see me come here and I'm prophesying, I give prophecies that will benefit everybody. If you look at all the prophecies I've given that has happened recently, especially that of Nnamdi Kanu, that the Lord revealed to me and give me the particular month that the case is going to finish. If you look at what is happening between Nigeria and the people in the Biafran nation, you will see that a lot of people have lost their life in this very struggle of Biafra. You will see that so many people have fought for this and they could not be able to actualize what they fought for. And you will see that because of that marginalization and things that have happened, it has also remained a consciousness in the heart of these people from the region that is called the Biafran region of Nigeria. You will now see that the people has kept on fighting for this. They are pushing for it. And as they are pushing for it, it has become spiritual consciousness.
Hello, my brothers and sisters, my friends. So you are my neighbor, but I fear you. I belong to mingle with you. Let me give you an example and use a few African examples. Today, it is easier for Europeans to travel within Europe without requirement of a visa. They can trade, make money, visit each other, spend money, and the European Union area, they make your money, they become president every day. In Africa, our former colonies, and what they taught us still prevails.
Let me now give you what's called accurate prophecy that shaketh not as the Spirit is leading me. The Holy Spirit said that the further delay of his coming out is for his own good.
to visit and repent.
And this is all good means that God is busy clearing the way.
Because of the visa process.
And as God is busy clearing the way, at the end of clearing the way, God will now make the door to open. Because in the hell, the gate of hell has been broken. The gate of dungeon has been scattered and pulled out and truncated and smashed by the spirit of prophecy and the power of God Almighty. Because the Lord has stepped into dungeon and has broken the gate of hell, broken the gate of cell, broken the gate of prison, broken all the gates, and I see physical broken of the gate, and I see it right there in DSS study, I see right there in dungeon and right there in prison, the gate now being torn with bare hand of the spirit. And I begin to ask, what is the bare hand of the spirit? Because I'm speaking as a prophet. A prophet is a man of God that speaks the mind of God, and what the spirit shows the prophet is what the prophet will prophesy. And I see in the realm of the spirit where the spirit of God now moves into action, and I see what's called hands, just hand, and I see iron gate, I see buildings that are casted, and I look at this prison house. It's a casted place. Nobody can thwart it because it's built like a bulletproof. But right there, as it's built like a bulletproof, I see where bare hands are busy tearing them into pieces, like as if they're tearing cake. And I see everything torn out, and I see the man now come out and take his step. But what people should expect and what people will see are the coming out of Nnamdi Kanu is that there's going to also be what's called another trouble.
We are going to open the borders of Kenya. We do not.
There's going to be another trouble. I am seeing it coming out, and I'm seeing another travel. But this travel may not be the way you think. It may be a hidden travel. But this is another travel, and I'm seeing this travel also bringing what's called another step and another level, another dimension. You know, like every time when you see me come here and I'm prophesying, I give prophecies that will benefit everybody.
Mr. Chairperson,
if you look at all the prophecies I've given that has happened recently, especially that of Nnamdi Kanu, that the Lord will reveal to me and give me the particular month that the case is going to finish. Now somebody may be asking me, say, man of God, as a prophet of God, that God has given all this grace and all this power, then you people have the power, why not do this and why not do that?
As long as
now in the realm of the spirit, that's what's called no-go area and go area. Now what happens in the realm of the spirit is that if there's anything we must want it to happen, what we do in that aspect is what's called intercession. Or you call it to intercede on that matter. Now that matter that we need to intercede, we move in the realm of the spirit and begin to intercede concerning that very matter. There are so many matters that are not physical matters, they are spiritual matters. If you look at what is happening between Nigeria and the people in the Biafran nation, you will see that a lot of people have lost their life in this very struggle of Biafra. You will see that so many people have fought for this and they could not be able to actualize what they fought for. And you will see that because of that marginalization and things that have happened, it has also remained a consciousness in the heart of these people from the region that is called the Biafran region of Nigeria. You will now see that the people has kept on fighting for this. They are pushing for it, and as they're pushing for it, it has become spiritual consciousness. And now it has become a spiritual consciousness. Anybody that is also in that struggle that does not soil his hand or betray or work against his people or her people will also be controlled by the spirit that is behind this pursuit. Because when ideology has grown to a point, it becomes what's called it has what's called spiritual perspective of it. So the spiritual perspective of what is called the pursuit of this Biafra, that the people that are agitating and fighting and also struggling to make sure they have this Biafra, it has already moved from the realm of the physical to what's called the spiritual world, and these people are pursuing this with all determination that this is what they want to get and this is what we're going to have.
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.